Define workplace politics. Workplace politics is the process and behavior in human interactions involving power and authority. It is also a tool to assess the operational capacity and to balance diverse views of interest parties. It is the use of power and social networking within an organization to achieve changes that benefit the organization or individual within it. Influence by individuals may serve personal interests without regard to their effect on the organization itself. Some of the personal advantages may include access to tangible assets or intangible benefits such as status or pseudo authority that influence the behavior of others. Other than that, office politics arise when employees tend to misuse their power to gain undue attention and popularity at the workplace.
Effects of work politics is individuals find it difficult to concentrate on work due to the unnecessary politics at the workplace. For example, the organization pay you to with your hard work and not paying you for your playing politics at workplace. For the second example is office politics also increase the conflict and tension at the workplace. Because of that, employee cannot enjoy doing their work and their treat work as a burden. The third example is there will be no teamwork concept in the organization among the employee because of the lack of communication among the employees.
Reasons for office politics, firstly is gossips. Politics arise when the employees are involved in unnecessary gossip. For example, like bullying, criticism, backstabbing, hatred lead to the politics and also envy among the employees itself. Secondly is the blame games. One should always have a control on his tongue at the workplace. Speak on the relevant things and don't always find fault in others. Listen to what other people want to say, and everyone's opinion is very, very important. And lastly is the personal relationships. Personal relationships amongst the employees can sometimes lead to the politics. Politics arise when the individuals get the support from their family, relative, and also friends at the workplace. For example, team member might be your best friend, but at work, he needs to be treated just like same other.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So what are we going to talk about in our first meeting for today? So anyone?
Sorry boss, I'm late.
Why are you doing?
Because I'm overslept. Don't be angry boss, we are friends, right?
Please take your seat.
Okay, thank you boss.
I have a reminder for all of you. So, all of you, you must remember and follow the rules of the company. We all work as a team. When there is some person that does something, everyone is responsible for one person that does the offense or who breaks the rules. So, do you care about that?
Yes.
So for today's meeting, what we're gonna talk about, or what we're gonna discover, is the topic that do we want to talk for today.
Okay, so we are from marketing department. So as for the time being, we don't have any problems that are too serious. We still can handle every problem that arises in our department.
Okay, in our department of HR, we have a minor problem on approval of budget. Next is our payment of salary and overtime.
Okay, so for the conclusion for this meeting, I will approve first for the HR department their problem, so because they need to cope with their problem, because the salary for the employee is very important. So in terms of if marketing department have any problems, I will deal with that later, because we need to settle down in terms of HR problem first.
But when they have done their job, why don't you give something to appreciate their job? So like bonus or travel or something else to appreciate their work?
So I have seen the report. So I have seen the progress, and the project was very success. So for today, so for this year, I would like to give some bonus for your employees under your department, some money or vacation that be fully sponsored by the company because of their hard work. So that answer.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, boss.
I will discuss about elements of equity theory. Okay, I already have acronym to you all remember. CEO. For C, it means a comparison other. For E, equity evaluation, and O for outcome/input ratio. Okay. For C, comparison other, it means person or people against whom we compare our ratio. It means in a simple word, person or standard that an individual's input or outcome ratio is compared. Basically, comparison other means that when the employee and other employee is compare the value between them. The comparison can be in comparing the skills, performance, education and experience. For example, employee A is having a difficulty or lack in typing skills, while employee B is more efficient in typing skills. Where the employee B good at using Microsoft or Excel, so by having this comparison other, the employee A can be more realized about this capability and will try to perform a better works. Okay. For E, equity evaluation, it means compare outcome or input ratio with other comparison other. Input or outcome ratio is the ratio of perceived units of input compared to perceived unit of outcomes. Basically, the definition explains that perceived here is become aware or conscious of something or come to realize or understand of input or outcomes. The difference between the comparison other and equity evaluation is the comparison other is more to benchmarking the people, and for the equity evaluation is by measuring the productivity of the employees. So that's all. O, outcome or input ratio. Okay, input means what employee contribute. Contribution of employee means responsibility of employee towards the organization or the company. In a simple word, it can be defined as something that employees or workers give to the organization in achieving organization goals. Okay, for example, skill, knowledge and so on.
Today, how as a manager cope with the problem of political problem. First, we must analyze the organisation chart. As we know, office politics often happen in organisational structure, so we can observe it for a while. Map out the political power and influence of our organisation. First, question yourself: who is the real influencer? Who have the authority or the power? Who is respected and who is the brain of the organisation? Second, understand the informal network. Once you know where the power and influencer, now you can examine the people relationship between your organisation. First, we need to observe and find out who is getting along and who is not getting along, an introvert or extrovert. Second is to determine whether they are in group, out group or colleague. So we can see the connection between them on romance, friendship and respect and many more. So third is to be brave but not naive. For your first instinct is to avoid bad politics, but within the opposite, it can be more effective. As they say, keep your friend close but your enemy closer. This is to know the gossip manipulator within your organisation, and now you can avoid or counter the impact of their negative politics.